Can I ask you something? Have you ever sat in a meeting where people are praising your work and the whole time you're thinking, if they only knew how much I was winging it, if they only knew how unprepared I feel? Or maybe you've landed a big client, a promotion, or a partnership. You've landed something you worked incredibly hard for, and your first thought wasn't celebration. It was, how did I pull this off? And when are they going to realize I have no idea what I'm doing? Or maybe you're scrolling through Instagram, looking at other women in your industry, and you think, she has it all figured out. I'm the only one who's constantly second guessing myself. If any of this just hit home, if it sounds true to you, if you feel like you're one mistake away from being exposed, or if you're exhausted from performing confidence you don't actually feel, this video is for you. I'm Patty Ferreira, and today we're talking about why successful women feel like frauds even when they're not. Let me tell you about a conversation I had last month. I was on a call with a client. Let's call her Sarah. She runs a 7-figure business. She has a team of about 15 employees. She's been featured in major publications. She speaks on stages and gives TED Talks. On paper, she's crushing it. But on this call, she said something that broke my heart. She said, Patty, I wake up every single day terrified that today is the day everyone realizes I'm not actually that smart, that I've just been lucky, that I don't deserve any of this. And then she said, the part that really got me, I can't enjoy any of it. Every win feels like I'm one step closer to being found out. It's exhausting. Now here's what you need to understand about Sarah. She's brilliant. She's strategic. She's built something incredible from nothing. She's helped hundreds of people. But none of that matters to the voice in her head that says, you're a fraud. And here's what I know. If you're watching this video, there's a very good chance you have that same voice, that inner critic. So let me ask you directly. Do you constantly second guess yourself? Like you make a decision and then immediately wonder if it was the right one. You send an email and reread it 10 times, worrying about how it sounds or how someone else is going to receive it. Do you compare yourself to everyone around you? You see someone else's success and think, she has it together. I'm barely holding on. Do you downplay your achievements? Someone compliments your work and you say, oh, it's nothing, I just got lucky, or anyone can do this. Do you resist going after what you actually want? Because deep down, you don't feel worthy of it. You don't feel ready. You think, who am I to even want this? Are you terrified of being called out? Like someone's going to publicly point out that you don't actually know what you're doing, that you've been faking it this whole time. If you're nodding along to any of these points I just made, if you feel seen right now by what I've shared, you're not alone. And I'm going to tell you why this happens. And more importantly, how it finally can disappear, how you can break free from it. Okay, so here's what's happening. There's a term for what you're experiencing. It's called imposter syndrome. But honestly, I don't love that term because it makes it sound like a disorder. It's not. It's a response, a survival mechanism, a way your brain is trying to protect you. And here's the thing. This happens to successful women more than anyone else. Not because you're broken, but because of how we're conditioned. Let me explain. Reason number one. You learned your worth is tied to achievement. From a young age, you got praise for being the smart one, the good one, the high achieving one. You learned when I succeed, I'm valuable. When I perform well, I'm loved. So you keep achieving. But here's the problem. No amount of external success will ever make you feel internally worthy. If your sense of worth is dependent on achievement, you can get the promotion, the accolade, the revenue milestone, and still feel like it's not enough. Because you're not enough, the term not enough, that's the core belief. Reason number 2, you hold yourself to impossible standards. Let me guess. You look at your to-do list and you feel like you failed if you didn't complete everything perfectly. You delivered a presentation that went well, but you're obsessing over the one slide that felt awkward. Or you launched something successful, but you're focused on the one person who unsubscribed or left a bad review. Maybe you're holding yourself to a standard of perfection that you would never hold anyone else to. And when you inevitably fall short of that impossible standard, you see it as proof that you're not good enough. Meanwhile, everyone around you thinks you're incredible. Reason number 3, you compare your insides to everyone else's outsides. You see other women who look confident, polished, like they have it all figured out, and you compare that to your internal experience, which is full of doubt, uncertainty, and I have no idea what I'm doing. And you think I must be the only one struggling. But here's the truth. Everyone feels this at some point. Everyone. The woman you're comparing yourself to, she's comparing herself to someone else. The entrepreneur who looks like she has it all together, she's terrified too. The difference is you're just aware of your doubt. You're not aware of theirs. And reason number 4, society has told you that you don't belong. Let's be honest. If you're a woman building a business, leading a team, or in a position of power, you've probably been the only woman in a room more often than not. You've been talked over, questioned, doubted, undermined, not because you're not competent, but because you're a woman. And when you're constantly receiving the message, either explicitly or subtly, that you don't belong, it really becomes hard not to internalize that. You start to wonder, maybe they're right. Maybe I'm not supposed to be here. But here's what I want you to hear. That voice in your head that says you're not good enough, that's not your voice. That's the voice of every limiting belief, every societal message, every fear you've absorbed over the years. This is not your truth. Now, I need to talk about something that's hard to hear, because self-doubt isn't just uncomfortable. It's not just a feeling you can push through. It's costing you. It's costing you success, peace. Let me tell you what I see happening with the women I work with. It's costing their joy. You can't celebrate your wins. You can't savor your success, because the second something good happens, you're already worrying about when it's going to fall apart. You're living in constant fear instead of gratitude. I had a client who launched a course that sold out in 48 hours. She made $50,000 in 2 days, and instead of celebrating, she spent the entire weekend panicking. What if the people hate it? What if I can't deliver? What if they ask for refunds? She couldn't even enjoy what she'd created. It's also costing you opportunities. You don't apply for the speaking gig because you feel you're not qualified. You don't pitch the partnership because why would they want to work with me? You don't raise your prices because I don't deserve to charge that much. You stay small, not because you're not capable, but because you don't believe you are. And here's the truth. Every opportunity you don't take because of self-doubt is an opportunity someone else takes. Not because they're more qualified, but because they believe they could. It's costing you your health. The constant anxiety, the second guessing, the performing. It's exhausting. You're losing sleep, you're stressed. You might be experiencing physical symptoms like headaches and stomach issues and burnout because your nervous system is constantly on overdrive trying to prove you're good enough. It's also costing you connection. You can't be fully present in your relationship because you're always in your head. You can't be vulnerable because vulnerability means someone might see that you're not all put together as they think. You keep people at an arm's length because you're afraid if they really knew you, they'd see you're not that special. And that's the loneliest feeling in the world. So here's what I need you to understand. This isn't just about feeling bad about yourself. This is about the life you're not living because of self-doubt, the business you're not building, the impact you're not making, the joy you're not experiencing, the version of yourself you're not becoming. And that's why we need to change this immediately, break free from this. I'm not going to give you surface level tips. I'm going to tell you what actually works. And I'm going to share real stories from women who've done this work. Step number 1, separate your feelings from the facts. Here's what I mean by this. Just because you feel like a fraud doesn't mean you are one. Feelings are not facts. The next time that your voice shows up in your head and it says, I don't know what I'm doing, pause and ask yourself, what is the actual evidence here? Did you get results from your clients? Yes. Did you build the business? Yes. Did you solve the problem? Yes. Those are facts. The feeling that you're not qualified, that's just the thought, and thoughts could be changed. Let me tell you about Maria. Maria comes to me after she's been running her business for 3 years. She had consistent revenue, happy clients, great testimonials, but she couldn't shake the feeling that she was faking it. So I asked her to make a list, a literal list of every piece of evidence that proved she was capable. Every client result, every problem she'd solved, every skill she'd learned, every obstacle she'd overcome. All of the things that proved that she had got the job done. By the time she was done, the list was 3 pages long. And she looked at me and said, I can't argue with this. The evidence says I know what I'm doing. So start collecting your evidence. Write it down because your brain will try to dismiss it, but facts don't lie. Step number 2, stop comparing. This one's hard, I know, but every time you compare yourself to someone else, you're comparing your chapter 3 to their chapter 20. You're comparing your messy middle to their polished final product, and that's not fair to you. Here's what I want you to understand, and here's what I want you to do instead. Compare yourself to yourself. Where were you a year ago? What have you learned? Have you grown? That's the only comparison that matters. Step number 3, talk about it. Self-doubt thrives in the silence. The more you keep it to yourself, the more power it has. I had a client, let's call her Jessica, who finally shared with her mastermind group, I feel like I'm the only one who has no idea what I'm doing. And you know what happened? Every single woman in the room said, "Oh my God, me too." The woman she thought had it all figured out, she was terrified. The woman who seemed so confident and so poised, she was second guessing everything. When Jessica realized she wasn't alone, the shame dissolved, because shame can't survive in community. Step number 4, redefine what success means. Stop measuring your worth by perfection. Start measuring it by courage. Did you try something new? That's success. Did you show up even though you were scared? That's success. Did you ask for help? That is success. Success is not flawlessness. Success is showing up as yourself, imperfectly, and trusting that's enough. Now here's the deeper truth. All of this, the self-doubt, the second guessing, the feeling like a fraud, it all comes down to one thing. You don't trust yourself. And that's why in my 5 codes of self-love, code number 4 is self-trust. Self-trust isn't about knowing everything. It's not about being perfect. Self-trust is not about never making mistakes. Self-trust is about believing I can handle whatever comes my way. It's about trusting your gut, trusting your decisions, trusting that you're resourceful, trusting that you're capable, not because you're flawless, but because you've proven over and over that you can figure it out. And here's what I know about you. You have survived 100% of your hardest days so far. You have figured things out when you didn't think you could. You have grown, adapted, and risen. Not because you're perfect, but because you were willing. So maybe, just maybe, you're not a fraud. Maybe you're exactly who you need to be. And maybe it's time to start trusting that. Resonates with you. I want to invite you into 2 things. First, join the free 21-day Season of Self-Love Challenge. This challenge is based on the 5 codes of self-love, including self-trust. For 21 days, you'll get daily prompts and practices that will help you rebuild confidence in yourself and break free from self-doubt. It's free. The link is in the description. Second, I want to invite you. If you want ongoing support, if you want a community of women who understand this struggle and a space where you can work through it together, join Awakened and Rising. It's my $30 per month membership for women like you. We work on self-trust, self-doubt, and all 5 codes of self-love using my triple layered approach: strategy, mindset, and energy work. You get weekly live calls, a community, and tools that actually work. Link will also be in the bio. But whether you join or not, I need you to hear this. You're not a fraud. You are not lucky. You're not faking it. You are building something real with real skill and real courage. And the voice that says otherwise, it's lying to you. It's time to stop believing it. If this helped you, subscribe. I post videos every Thursday on the 5 codes of self-love and other things. And if you know another woman who needs to hear this, send this to her, because self-doubt dissolves when we stop hiding it. And that starts to help us talk about it. I'll see you next week, and welcome to Awakened and Rising.